off all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
vVv gaming.
That is not going to be the case. So it will be HeavOnEarth or HeavOnEarth. Let me get that correct. HeavOnEarth as the purple Zerg, and now the casters are ready.
And my PvP is pretty decent. I'm not sure I'm up to Time's caliber though, so we'll let HeavOnEarth take this one, and we will have Time as the blue Protoss, HeavOnEarth as eventually the purple Zerg once we get in here on, again, MLG Tal'Darim Altar, the big macro map, and we'll see what sort of style HeavOnEarth goes for. I've never heard of him. I've heard of most of the other players on Kiwiclone Army, so we'll see whether he's able to pull a rabbit out of his hat here and knock off a very strong player in vVv Time.
Yeah, so it is going to be Time spawning as the blue Protoss at the 4 or 5 o'clock position. Meanwhile, HeavOnEarth spawning as the purple Zerg player here on the top right-hand side of the map. I always think it's a little bit of a cheat for Zerg players to choose purple, because when you see
I was just noticing that too, yeah.
Yeah, when you look on the minimap, you're like, okay, is that a large army or is that creep spread? So
it's all purple.
It's all purple. So I guess in a what Zerg versus Zerg matchup, that's probably the hardest thing to try to figure out, because there's creep all over the place, and purple on purple is, besides being a fashion faux pas, just doesn't make for even gameplay.
I'm not sure HeavOnEarth is too worried about the matching here, the same colors. StarCraft players usually have one color they stick to. A lot of players picking pink or blue or green, though most of them usually play with the color units, the team colors, so it's all red and green, Christmas colors to them anyway. But they pick with their color and they stick with it.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, we're going to see HeavOnEarth. I believe that was an 8 pool. So that spawning pool is already down. It was put down about 45 seconds ago. So that was about the 1 minute mark. Trying to do my math. I think that was an 8 or 9 pool. As a drone now makes its way out, we may see, Time not going for the typical fast expansion that you normally see from a Protoss player. So Time perhaps going to throw a wrench into HeavOnEarth strategy, as he will not be able to do a Zergling run by and will actually have to deal with a Zealot. So the drone did come in over here. The drone didn't actually see anything. So yeah, so the drone didn't scout far enough in, and those Zerglings may be headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, this is so meta. I mean, Zerg players are always expecting the Protoss to go for a Forge Fast Expand here. And so starting out with this 8 pool or 7 pool, whatever it was, and just a string of Zerglings hoping to punish that. If the Protoss gets really greedy and goes for Nexus first, you can probably win the game or do some huge economic damage here just outright. But Time switching it up, going for a Gateway first. This is sort of like Zerg players responding going pool first against a lot of early cannon pressure that Protoss have been using in the beginning days of StarCraft 2. And now you're right. I mean, we have HeavOnEarth going to the exact wrong location with all these Zerglings. He is going to not find time for a very long period of seconds here. And now he's giving the Fs in here, and Time saying, I countered you perfectly. This is really amusing.
Yeah, this is really amusing. Also, what's amusing is the fact that Time currently has a lot of gas, and now the Zealot is just sitting there. It's going to be able to sit in that position. And there was also a Zealot in the mineral line. He's also getting the level 1 weapons upgrade at the 4-minute mark. So those Zealots will be able to slice through those Zerglings like a hot knife through butter, as the Cybernetics Core finally coming in. And those Zerglings are looking for a way to get some damage in, and that Zealot able to respond. There's going to be 3 Zealots trying to counter the 8 Zerglings, but you can always count on Time to do something a little bit out of the norm, as the Zealots are now just trying to get in position, chasing around those Zerglings. And the Zerglings may be able to get through that. No, not going to be able to get through that opening, as more and more Zealots coming in. And I'm still curious as to why Time is mining gas right now. He's only training up Zealots. He did start the research, but perhaps he will perhaps do something with sentries in just a moment, as sentries do come out a little bit more quickly and are also range units.
He's going to go for one of his tried and true builds, and that's +1 Zealots with Stargate, as he's adding a Stargate here. And HeavOnEarth, not only are these Zerglings ineffective at killing drones, but he's just not even able to follow this up. He's got a ton of Zerglings, and they don't have speed. He just now got his Extractor up, so his metabolic boost is going to be so slow these slow Zealots are just going to be able to keep up with these Zerglings. He was never able to find an angle, pick off a few probes, and now we see the Photon Cannon in the mineral line of Time, and he is so safe right now, just operating off of one gate. We have the late expansion just popping up for Heaven on Earth, and he's just droning up, trying to get back into this. It is 27 to 24, so the economies are pretty even, but Heaven on Earth going to be so behind here in tech.
Yeah, Heaven on Earth really needs to train up some additional queens. I don't think that he saw the Stargate. If he didn't click on it, a Stargate looks like a gateway, looks like any other Protoss building that's I think 3x3. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. If he doesn't train any additional queens, he's going to have a very difficult time, as he's only training up roaches now. We should see Time perhaps chrono boosting that Stargate, trying to get out as many Void Rays as possible, and 2 Void Rays should be able to easily shut down this hatchery. We can see the hatchery also trying to train up an additional queen, but the hatchery already down to 700 hit points there.
Yeah, and this is going to be so tough for Heaven on Earth. He needs to get up a second queen here, and he needs to connect these 2 bases with creep so this queens can work together. But the Zealot's just threatening this hatchery, and I'm surprised he was able to get out these roaches in time to defend. If those Zealots get a surround on the queen does have the 1 armor, but the +1 Zealots just tear it apart. And now we see Time. He knows his opponent can't really attack at this point, and especially with this 1 Void Ray out, he's going to be so safe. He is getting up his own expansion, and now we see the Void Ray trying to take on this queen.
Yeah, so Void Ray going after the queen. The Void Ray will be fully charged in just a moment. Another queen now trying to make its way over, and it looks like the Void Ray is able to attack move and will be able to catch up. Doesn't go after the queen. The queen, natural regeneration on the queen for 3 hit points, saving that 1 unit there, and now the Void Ray finally deciding to pull off. But 2 Void Rays better than 1. The Void Ray getting his nice twin brother to join in on the action, and Heaven on Earth's queen going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a really clutch play, pulling back there with that 3 HP queen. Now he does have up 3 queens, so he's going to be able to focus them down quickly here with these charged up Void Rays. Doing a nice job is Time, pulling back that Void Ray, microing it perfectly. And now very low HP queens, and unless they have enough energy for a transfuse, and I don't think either of them do at this point, he's going to be able to take down all these queens. And we do have 2 more queens on the way, but doing a lot of economic damage here, just focusing down these drones, and could even take down this hatchery if he tries to focus it down. But right now, just going for that easy damage, overlords and drones.
Yeah, right now Time is in a bit of trouble as a second Void Ray now coming in as well. The Void Rays really need to focus down the queens. You can see another queen coming in from the back. Heaven on Earth turning around. He does lose it. So it is going to be queens against Void Rays throughout this battle. 1 Void Ray is destroyed, but another queen also exchanged in the battle as Time's Void Ray is fully charged. It looks like it's going to go after another queen once more. The queen should not be able to win out in this fight just because the Void Ray was already fully charged before the queen got there. And yeah, that queen will get destroyed. And I believe if he actually focuses down the hatchery, he may be able to shut this down. It's dealing 26 damage a second, I believe, or around 30 damage a second as another Void Ray now coming in. So 2 Void Rays going to shut it down, and more importantly, shut down the production on that queen. And there's the GG from Heaven on Earth.
Wow, so that was a pretty funny game. Heaven on Earth coming out, thinking he's going to outsmart the Protoss player in Time. He's going to come out with that fast pool. He's going to stream Zerglings into your Forge Fast Expand, and he's going to win outright. But Time sort of throwing a wrench in his plans, as you mentioned, going with the gate first, everything close to home, the perfect build to counter the fast pool there. So it was a beautiful game by Time. We had a little bit of a moment of hilarity there where Heaven on Earth realized his blunder and what Time was going for, said FML, and Time was laughing a little bit there. So eventually got out those Void Rays, did a nice job taking down those queens and microing back those Void Rays, able to take this game. And he's on his way to an all kill here. Just 1 more player left for Team Kiwiclone Army.
Yeah, so we'll see if Time can once again get the all kill, or whether or not Kiwiclone Army will be able to take another game and force a game 6. That's coming up next.